Well, good morning. Tony Virtue speaking, Virtue and Partners with our regular monthly update as we come towards financial year end. Look, after the excitement of the federal election, and I think it's still taking time for that to sink in to the investment community, the main news has been the dropping of interest rates in Australia by 0.25% down to 1.25%. It was expected, but this is significant, and the expectation is there'll be another 0.25% cut. It will impact on investment decisions. There will be a continual push, as you can see in my notes, to go up the risk curve. That could be holding equities, and you can see in my graph there the comparison between a CBA dividend and franked credits as opposed to a term deposit, and those jaws are now substantial relative to the risk that would need to be taken. The other thing that's happening is that people are moving up the risk curve as far as using credit with probably a lower level of credit rating to substantiate a better investment return. This is going to take quite a lot of work in the practice to adjust portfolios to achieve that. Finally, it does of course impact on deeming provisions. At the moment, the government deems that you're earning far more from your term deposit rates than is actually the case. So ideally we want deeming to be linked to RBA rates. I think that's the fair way to do it, failing which we're going to have to manually work this out. Overseas, the Trump-China thing kind of drifts on. I think it's now gone to Mexico and supposedly India. I think after a while you can only cry wolf so often and people get a little bit sort of over it. Markets seem to have taken that in its stride. Probably more relevantly, and we'll see this on Wednesday night, the US does appear to be at the top of the interest rate cycle. This again is important. If countries are reaching the top of their interest rate cycle, generally that means markets are slowing down, economies are slowing down. It's a bit like slowing down the inclinator, if I can say that, but at the same time that's probably on balance a positive for equities and properties because you can borrow money cheaper there. I do really want this Goldilocks situation of not too much changing around. I think that's definitely the mood here in the Sydney community, that we would just like to see steady growth and not too much of a whipsaw. In the property market, you can see auction rates beginning to bite and improve. You'd expect that after a trifecta of the federal election win for the coalition, a drop of interest rates and APRA eliminating the buffer. It does take confidence for the investor to re-enter markets, and this will take a little bit of time. And again, I think most of us don't want to see a whipsaw. We just want to see steady incremental growth in all of our markets. So yeah, my tip now is we're pretty much at the bottom of the property market. Time will tell if I'm right or wrong, and let's see if we can just get some steady improvements there. Finally, this time of the year, obviously we're looking at year-end strategies, and I've listed them in my papers, the obvious. So limited to $25,000 into super from work-related super, irrespective of age, and clearly that's not enough. We continue to lobby government to get that number up for those over 50 years of age. Your prepayments, even margin lending in this market, we're doing margin lending in the low 4s. You're getting a 6% yield from the banks at the moment, 5% across the whole index, so those jaws are in your favour. So quite a lot of opportunities out there for those who've got enough courage to see beyond the immediate and take a sort of 5 to 7 year view. We'll be working straight through as usual this time of the year, be long hours. So Thursday nights you'll find me here, Saturday mornings you'll find me here, and my hard-working team. Lots more information on the website. So happy financial year to you all from me, Tony Virtue, when experience pays.